Hello my schoolers, welcome to my school channel. My name is Alexandra, and in this video we're going to be tackling the JAMB past question for English language year 2006. Please stay with us, don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to my school channel. In this video we're going to be tackling question 1 to 20. So let's jump right into question 1. Choose the option that best completes the gap. The police claim that a number of stolen cars recovered. Okay, so we have option A, have been, option B, has been, option C, has been, option D, have been. The answer to this question is definitely option A, have been. Now, why do I know this? The rule of concord states that when a number of is used in a sentence, it has to be followed by a plural verb. Okay, and a plural verb is have. Has is the singular form, while have is the plural form. Definitely it is have been. If it is followed by the number of, that is the phrase the number of, it has to be followed by a singular verb. Okay, but in this case we have a number of, and so we'll stick with option A, have been. Now, been is a past participle and being is a present participle. So this is a past perfect tense, and so option A is the final answer to this question. Question 2. Dash has been there to look several times without success. Option A, ill. Option B, is. Option C is E. Option D, it is. The answer to this question is option B. He has been there to look several times without success. Okay, so we can see option A, there's a contraction. A contraction is evident, and we see that this is a combination of E plus will. Contraction is shortening. When you shorten the word to look lesser than it should really be, or it appears. Okay, so this is a combination of E plus is, or you could have it as E plus has. So in this question, it is conforming to this form. He has. Okay, how do I know that he has? Because we have been. Okay, because we have been, I know definitely that it has to be he has. Okay, so we do not contrast he has in all cases. It's not in every sentence you contrast as with the subject. Okay, for example, in the sentence, she has a marker. You can't write she's a marker. Definitely, it will be interpreted as she is a marker. So this to tell you that you can contract this however you like, but then has cannot be contracted just anyhow, and you can't contract it or shorten it when it is used as the main verb. So in this sentence, it is the main verb, so you can't contrast it. You can only contrast when you have been. Okay, you can contrast it with the subject when you have been, and in that case you can contrast is when you have not. She has not, and even in this case you contrast it with not, with she hasn't. Okay, she hasn't. So this to tell you that you only contrast it when you have it with been. When it is used as a main verb, has, you do not contrast. Okay, you do not contrast. Okay, so the final answer to this question is his, because it is he has. Okay, so option B is the correct answer to this question. Question 3. The old man was rushed to hospital when his blood pressure dropped to a dash level. Okay, so we have option A, dangerously lowly. Option B, dangerous lowly. Option C, dangerously low. Option D, dangerous low. Okay, so the answer to this question is option C, dangerously low. Okay, but then let's break this down. What do we have? We have dangerously, which is an adverb. Okay, that is in a way that can cause harm, right? Lowly, what is lowly? This is an adjective. Yeah, an adjective. So in this case, it means a lesser status, more like humble, okay? Dangerous is definitely an adjective. Sorry. Lowly, we've done this. Dangerously, we've done this. Then low is an adjective also. And what does this mean? A level that is lesser than average. Okay, so now that we've defined the class of the word class of each of the words we have, the possible combination we have, we can see that dangerously should tell us more about the adjective. What is an adverb in the first place? An adverb tells us more about a verb, an adjective, and another adverb. So dangerously is telling us more about the adjective, which is lesser than average. So it is dangerously in a way that can cause harm. It is dangerously low. So the answer to this question is definitely C, because it follows the right order and it completes the sentence that has been provided in the question. Question 4. Until he lost the election, Agbo dashed to be student union president. Option A, had been hoping. Option B, has been hoping. Option C, would have hoped. Option D, has hoped. The answer to this question is option A, had been hoping, and this suggests that this is a past perfect continuous tense. That is, the action started in the past and continued up to another time in the past. So everything happened in the past. So this tells us that it was open in the past and it stopped open in the past. So how do we know this? It is very easy with the word until, up to. So it stopped open in the past. Even with the use of until we know that it is a past perfect continuous tense. So option A is the correct answer to this question. However, let's take a look at option B. Option B, this suggests a present perfect continuous tense. Would have hoped, would have hoped is a perfect conditional tense. There's what we call perfect conditional tense in English, and this is an example which suggests that something did not happen but has the possibility of happening. Okay, would have hoped. Okay, it didn't happen, but there's a possibility. But then even with this phrase, there has to be then before the subject. Then Agbo would have. That is the correct way to use it. But without then, this would not go at all. Okay, so this is a present perfect continuous tense also. And so it will not go because we have a past perfect tense, a tense that has been completed in the past. With he had lost the election. It suggests that it's a past tense, and so we should have a past perfect tense or a past perfect continuous tense. But yeah, look at what we have here. This is not a past perfect tense. This is a present perfect tense. Okay? Whenever you see present tense, whether a present perfect tense, a present continuous tense, it is still happening in the present, or it has an effect. It has an effect to what is happening in the present time. But with past, it starts in the past, it ends in the past. Okay? So the answer to this question is definitely option A, had been hoping. Question 5. If he dashed for admission, I am sure he would succeed. Okay, so option A, will apply. Option B, applied. Option C, had applied. Option D, has applied. Okay, so the answer to this question is applied, option B, which is the past tense. Take a look at the first clause and take a look at the second clause. We have I'm sure he would succeed. Okay, would tells us this is past tense. The first clause also should suggest past tense. If we have would have, then we see that it is a perfect, past perfect, and then we should choose what had applied. Okay, but here it is a past tense, and so we'll stick with option B, applied. This suggests what? A present tense. This suggests a present perfect. This is a past perfect, and this is a past tense. So option B is the final answer to this question. If he applied for admission, I am sure he would succeed. If he had applied for admission, I'm sure he would have succeeded. Okay, so the answer to this question is option B. Question 6. Choose the option that best completes the gap. The dash robber showed no mercy during the attack. So we have option A, loquacious. Loquacious means talkative. Option B, senseless. Senseless means lacking sense. Option C, ruthless. Ruthless means not showing compassion or pity, and benevolent is kind. Okay, so these words are adjective and they should qualify a noun since robber is a noun. But then the answer to this question is ruthless. And why should we choose ruthless? Because ruthless is just defines what a robber does, or what they do, or what they stand for. They have no mercy, they show no mercy or compassion. And there's what we call collocation in English, that is two words that go together. Okay, like fast food, pay attention. These are two words that go together, okay, in a sentence. So ruthless robber, yeah, that fits perfectly because it defines what they do or what they stand for. So the dash robber, the ruthless robber, showed no mercy during the attack. So it fills this sentence accurately, and so it's the best answer to this question. Question 7. Did you have dash when you went to visit the medical doctor? Okay, so the answer to this question is diarrhea, and you can see from the options that we have to deal with, or we have to figure out the correct spelling, right? So we have so many misspelled options, and then one has the correct spelling. So the answer to this question is option A, and it is spelled D-I-A-R-R-H-O-E-A. That's the British spelling. For the Americans, they spell it as D-I-A-R-R-H-E-A without the O. So this is the correct spelling in the British English, and so option A is the final answer to this question. Do not forget that you can take practice questions with our simulated JAMB CBT past questions. All you need to do is you click on the link in the description below. It takes you to the Myschool website. There you can download Myschool mobile app for your Android phones, and then Myschool software for your computers and laptops. Please go ahead and download and start practicing for your upcoming examination. Now moving on to question 8. Your performance will improve if you dash hard. Option A, are practicing. Option B, practical. Option C, would practice. Option D, practice. The answer to this question is option D, practice, which is the verb form of practice, which is the noun form. Okay, so the answer to this question is option D, because as you can see in the sentence, this suggests future tense, and so we should have the present tense. Okay, so according to sequence of tense, the present tense is just appropriate, and so it's the answer to this question. We can't have would because it's not would, it is will, right? Okay, irrespective of the fact that you even have the noun form, even if we have the verb form, it will still not fill in this gap appropriately. So the answer to this question is option D, practice. I believe you're enjoying this content. If yes, do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and lastly, tap on the bell notification to get informed as soon as we release the next videos. Question 9. The brave hunter killed the dash in the forest. So we have the options. From our observation, we can see that the options make provision for size, for color, then purpose, spitting, right? Then the last one is the noun, which is cobra. Good. So according to the order of adjectives, we know that we should have the size first, the color will be the second, the purpose is the third, then followed by the noun, just the way I have arranged them. So the answer to this will be option C, big black spitting cobra. Size, color, purpose, and noun. So option C is the final answer to this question. Question 10. He wrote to you dash. So let's take a look at the options. With the options, we know that this is a tag question, right? So we need to complete the sentence using a tag question. Okay, tag question is a short question that comes after a statement. So we have the statement, and so we need to provide a tag question. But how do we form tag questions? We form tag question based on the verb used in the statement. So if it is a lexical verb like this, we use did. Okay, But if it is an auxiliary verb, we need to use the auxiliary verb. So because it is a lexical verb in its past tense, so we need to use did, okay, also in the past tense. Okay, we just need to use generally the family of do, did, or does, depending on the tense used in the verb. So this is wrote, which is a past tense, and so we should use what? Did. If it is right, does, right? So let's find the answer, and we have didn't E. Another thing we note apart from the verb is the subject. The subject is E, and so it has to retain the subject. And then the statement also, does it have a negative word? Negative will include not. But it does not have not, and so we need to include that in the third question. If it has, we need to remove it in the third question. So it does not have not, and so the combination will be didn't he. Okay, so did, according to the verb, not, absence of not in the statement, and he, the subject in the statement. So this is how we formed our questions, and so we know that option C is the final answer to this question. Question 11. The clubs were not dashed on a solid ethical base. Okay, so option A, we are funded, option B, found, option C, created, option D, founded. The answer to this question is founded. Okay, funded here, it can work, created can be used in this sentence structure, but there's what we call register, and that's the appropriate use of words in particular context. So we see the club were not dashed on solid ethical base. So it was not founded. Founded is the right word to use to suggest it wasn't established. Okay, the clubs were not established. Okay, were not founded. So that's the right choice of word to use in this context, and so we'll go for option D, founded. Question 12. I watched him as he dashed the hole. So the answer to this question is option A, dog. Dog can function as a past tense as well as past participle of the word dig. So I washed tells us that it is past tense, and so dog is the final answer to this question. So I watched him as he dug the hole. Option A is the final answer to this question. Question 13. His father hardly misses the news because he goes about with his dash radio. Option A, pointable. Option B, portable. Option C, portable. Option D, portable. Okay, so the answer to this question is option D. And we can see how the options play around with homophones. Homophones are words that sound the same but have different meaning, right? For example, portable will mean safe to drink, but nothing about a radio suggests drinking. It is listening, right? Okay, but portable, something that you can easily carry, and that goes with a radio, right? So it goes about with its radio, and so it doesn't miss any news, right? So option D is the final answer to this question. Question 14. The Investigation Commission has treated all the dash submitted to it by the warning factions. Option A, protest. Option B, petitions. Option C, applications. Option D, inquiries. Okay, so we need a noun to fill in the gap, and all these options are nouns which could fill in the gap. But then petition is the right word to use according to register, which is the fact that a particular word is most appropriate based on the context. Now take a look at the context. We see a public entity, right? And a petition is a request to do something commonly addressed to a government official or a public entity. So therefore, option B is the best answer to this question. Question 15. Olu brought his clothes and those of his dash. Option A, senior brothers. Option B, elder brothers. Option C, elder brothers. Option D, senior brother. You can examine two categories. We have the one with senior slash elder, right? And then we have brother versus or slash brothers with the apostrophe, sorry, brothers with the S. And so we have these two categories, and we need to choose which is the best answer. So for senior, we know that senior, we use senior in organization when we are talking about your boss, okay, in an organization. But elder is used with relations with your siblings. You use elder. So that tells us that in this case we'll go with elder because it is a personal relationship, right? Olu brought his clothes and those of his. So we know that it's a personal relationship, it's a close relationship with a family member, right? So we'll stick with elder. Then brothers, and this with apostrophe. Now this suggests possession, okay, which should be the answer to this question. However, let's take a look at the sentence structure. We already have HIS, which signifies belonging, okay, is belonging to someone, okay, so there is no need for this anymore because we already have that here, okay, so we have brothers. So therefore, elder brothers is the answer to this question. So option B is the final answer to this question. Question 16. Our neighbor was attracted by the dash from my mother's cooking. Okay, so we see the option flavor, stench, scent, and aroma. From the options, we can tell that this is a question that tilts towards register. Okay, we can see flavor is appeals to taste. Okay, it's palatable, it appeals to your taste. Stench is an unpleasant smell. Unpleasant smell. Scent is pleasant smell. Aroma is also a pleasant smell. But then, aroma is used in the context of cooking, right? While scent is used in the context of fragrance, perfume, and all of that, right? So based on this context, we'll stick with option D as the final answer to this question. Everybody is allowed to dash his view on state matters. Option A, air. Option B, hear. Option C, show. Option D, share. The answer to this question is air. Now, air is to make your opinion or suggestion known, okay? To make it known, okay? That's why it's the answer to this question. But there's a lot of controversy with the word share. And share originally means, oh, I agree with your opinion. I share your opinion. Or I share the opinion that. So sharing, or the concept of sharing when it comes to opinion started or originated with the fact that I agree with what you're saying. I share your opinion, I share your thoughts, I share the opinion. But now the meaning has extended. Okay, there's been an extension in its meaning, suggesting that, oh, to share your opinion is to actually make your opinion known. So that's just an extension, okay, that is becoming popular, but then the standard is to air your opinion. So option A is the final answer to this question. Despite all preparations, the wedding did not dash. Option A, come along. Option B, come by. Option C, come on. Option D, come off. The answer to this question is definitely come off. Come off is to happen as planned or to succeed, okay? Despite all preparation, the wedding didn't happen as planned, or it didn't succeed. It didn't succeed generally, okay? But when we talk about common is to start happening, okay? It's not satisfying as come off, okay? So option D is the final answer to this question. Do you have better steps, explanation, or solutions to any of this question? Please feel free to share with us. Please indicate the question and the solutions you would like to share in the comment section below. Are there questions you would like to ask? Please go ahead and ask your question by using the link provided in the description below. Click on the link, it takes you to the Myschool website. There you can ask as many questions as possible and solutions will be provided to all of them. For written dash is classmates, Agbo was dashed from the university. Option A, up, rusticated. Option B, on/expelled. Option C, at/removed. Option D, away/sent out. Okay, so the answer to this question is up/rusticated. That is option A, because up completes the verb and makes up the phrasal verb beating up. Okay, for beating up, which will mean an attack, an assault. Okay, so for beating up is classmate, Agbo was rusticated in the sense that it was punished by suspension. Okay, so option A is the final answer to this question. We have been living peacefully here, but dash hear rumors of war. Option A again, option B slowly, option C occasionally, Option D, eventually. The answer to this question is occasionally. What does occasionally mean? It means from time to time, okay? And it fits into this context. We have been living peacefully here, but from time to time, occasionally, we hear rumors of war. So option C is the final answer to this question. We've come to the end of the section. I believe it was impactful. I'm sure you've learned a lot. Thank you for joining us. Do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and lastly tap on the bell notification to get informed as soon as we release the next videos.